Maddie and I are huge advocates. I don't know if you've read this book, Mastery by Robert Greene. Have you heard of that book?
Mm-mm.
Fantastic
I
book.
mean, I believe I've heard of it, but I haven't read it.
Great
Yeah.
book. Yeah, Maddie had read it, and I think I have read it like a while ago, but we were reading it, touching up. And, the whole concept of the book is like, listen, everyone was put on this earth with, a natural inclination towards some type of skill set, mindset. The question is, do you find that? And if you do find that, that's how you truly master something, right? Is like doubling down on the thing that you are passionate about or good at. Because there's just people that are naturally better. Like an example, I always like to use an analogy. The reason why Tiger Woods mastered golf is because he worked harder than everybody else, but he also had just a natural ability to be good at that sport, right? Like that is a version of mastery, right? So my question to you is, what do you think what is your mastery skill set? And because you have so much going on, right? But I am firmly convinced of the mindset at the core of this success and all of these things that you've done. There's something about you that you in your mind think like, this is what I double down on. This is what I'm really good at. And one, what is that? And two, was there a clear moment when you realized what that was? Because in the book too, there's multiple ways to get there. One would be reflecting on your childhood and saying like, hey, what did I really love when I grew up and I had no limitations? Another one, it was my version, which is not the best, but like life or death experiences. You really kind of have an inner monologue when you go, when you're almost at the end of the line and you really start introspective reflecting, right? And they go through the book in just different ways. So I'd love to hear that about you because you're so varied and successful in different areas. I feel like you've mastered something at this point.
I would say there's really two things I feel are probably my biggest skill sets. And I think for me, it's people. I'm very
Mm-hmm.
adjustable, adaptable. I can talk to anybody and really just navigate a conversation into a benefit for both of us. I mentor a lot of college students in sports. I've mentored professional students in the NBA or people in the NBA, NFL players, you name it. I mean, that's probably one of my most exciting things that I get excited. I absolutely love hearing people, what they're all about, what their story is, what are their challenges, what do they face, and navigating them. How do we navigate this person to in a place where they build their confidence back and they get to the promised land someday, and just being able to know that I was able to really help give that person, because I really believe a lot of people are very, very talented.
Mm-hmm.
They're very, very much, their skills are there. It's just they don't even know where to start.
Right.
And
Yeah.
and and because the start line is so far away, it's like a whole runway of planes between here and the start line for most people. And just guiding them to the start line and showing them how to get started is something that I absolutely love to do. My second skill set that I've pretty much realized that is kind of my mastery is really business development. I mean, it is just, I love creating products. I love creating
Mm,
really unique offerings, things that consumers or businesses lack or they need, or there's just not a good version of it out there
right.
that offers people an authentic way to do something the right way versus the way it's already been built. Um,
Interesting.
I'm big on scaling business and building business models and scale models. I've been doing that for years. That's something that kind of really is what guided us into being so successful in all of our other businesses. And just those are probably my two that I just know those are who I am.
Yeah. And
Love it.
and with the realization of coming to say these are the two things that like you're about, was that over time? Was there a pivotal moment? Anything to reflect on how you came to those realizations?
I knew because I think my finance background and working in that industry for so long in the banking industry and stuff. Once I got into business, I started to really apply a lot of just basic logic in terms of business modeling and scale modeling and all that stuff. And
Yeah.
once I started to do it and I was seeing success from it, I mean, we don't really talk about it too much, but I've probably been directly the manager of spending well over $100 million on Facebook ads
Right.
Mhm.
throughout our business careers, right? And just optimizing ads and numbers and any challenge that comes in front of me, I just love it, and I love just looking at it and saying, "How do we make this better? How do I take
Right.
this ad and I drop the CPA or build the ROAS to be better?" And all these things that are challenges for business owners that usually they get afraid of. I actually dive right into them
Right.
because I wanna learn.
Right.
I wanna know what I don't know, and really what it's done kinda halfway through our tenure of, the event business and being in that industry,
Right.
I realized about that time that, me modeling businesses and brands and driving those to the moon was really something that really just was my thing, and
Yeah.
and
That's
and
cool.
kinda got pretty well known for it by a lot of the people in our circle in that industry, and, so it was something I knew then. Mentoring people, I've known that for I mean, when your sister, your parents, anybody in your inner circle, start coming to you when you're, 16 years old asking for advice on life,
Yes.
that's when you start to realize there's something about how you really paint the picture that
Mhm.
Yeah.
people actually connect with, and they connect deeply with it. So I knew at an early age that was one of my skills. It actually was something I always used to kind of find funny because, adults were asking me for, what to do about something in their careers, and they were, 20 years into a career, and so it something I really enjoy doing, and I just love watching people win. I think that's
Yeah.
really what makes me so passionate to do it
Ooh, I like
is
that.
I don't get any benefit from it. All benefit I get is from just seeing people win. That's
Mm.
it.